This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. A federal judge in Florida has struck down the federal mask mandate for air travel and other public transportation, leading the Biden administration to announce the mandate won't be enforced while it considers its options. Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell said the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention overstepped its authority and didn't justify the mask requirement for public transportation systems. The Trump appointee said the agency ran afoul of federal law because it didn't adhere to the Administrative Procedure Act when issuing the order. Alex Sawyer and Tom Howe report the federal government had just last week announced an extension of the mandate for transportation, which included planes, trains, buses, and subways. The mandate was originally issued on February 3, 2021, roughly 2 weeks after President Biden took office. Kerry Pickett reports within hours TSA dropped its enforcement of the rule, and most major American airlines, many of which had pushed in recent weeks for a lifting of the mandate, announced that mask wearing was now optional for passengers. Russia has carried out its widest array of missile strikes against Ukraine in more than 2 weeks. Guy Taylor reports Russian forces pounded cities across Ukraine in an apparent attempt to destroy weapon stocks before launching a much-anticipated ground offensive in the country's east. The Russian Defense Military claimed to have taken out 16 Ukrainian military facilities with the strikes, even hitting targets in the far western city of Lviv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in a nationwide video address, acknowledged that the critical battle of the war had begun and said his forces wouldn't back down. Ukrainian troops continue to hold off Russian forces in the southern port city of Mariupol, a linchpin in what is widely seen to be Russian President Vladimir Putin's revised plan to try to control a land bridge between Russia and Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula. Russia seized the peninsula 8 years ago. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is getting ready to release as many as 600,000 illegal immigrants before the end of September. Stephen Dinan reports the agency revealed the figure in a court filing dealing with how it plans to handle children who arrive as part of the surge. A coordinator for the agency said ICE expects to catch and release more than 3,000 illegal immigrants from the border each day, up from 774 a day in March. ICE declined to answer questions about its estimate, saying it was part of a legal proceeding. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Also a reminder that you can find the front page on any major podcast platform. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. Republican state legislatures are following the lead of Florida, introducing their own versions of what LGBTQ activists and critics call Don't Say Gay laws. Sean Salai reports Republican lawmakers have filed similar measures in Georgia, Ohio, Louisiana, Arizona, Indiana, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Tennessee. Ohio's bill echoes the Florida law with language that tells schools not to teach, use, or provide any curriculum or instructional materials on sexual orientation or gender identity for the youngest public school students. Georgia's bill would forbid classroom discussion of sexual orientation or gender identity in primary grade levels or in a manner that is not appropriate for the age and developmental stage of the student. And finally, a Las Vegas-based cannabis company has become the first foreign company to enter a joint venture for a medical marijuana clinic in Thailand. The Thai government is hoping to foster a major marijuana-based industry that will lead Southeast Asia and benefit from a global reputation for the quality and potency of the local crop. Thai officials are also eager to exploit what economists call a first-mover advantage in Asia. Thailand's cannabis laws are now among the continent's most liberal, and its products are globally known. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app. And find us on any major podcast platform. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.